appears that former President Donald Trump paid his defense witness a substantially higher amount of money than previously reported. Now, this is in regards to Trump's New York City fraud trial. And in his defense, he had Eli Bartov, a research professor at accounting at New York University's Stern School of Business, to testify on his behalf. And so he was an expert witness, and he testified on Thursday, claiming that the fraud case against the former president, his family, and business lacks any evidence. Note that this is, by the way, after Judge Engren, at the beginning of this, ruled that there was fraud. So this witness is like, no fraud. No fraud. Didn't actually happen. But wait a minute, this trial is it's not even about fraud. So it's already been established that the fraud happened. Now the question is, to what extent? Nonetheless, that's what he said on Thursday. On cross-examination Friday, Bartov was asked just how much he was getting paid for his testimony, for his expert testimony. Turns out he was paid $1,350 an hour. An hour! And worked a total of 650 hours on the case, according to a report in the Messenger. That's more than what he had testified back in July, when he had estimated that he spent just 250 hours preparing his report and 150 hours on a rebuttal report, which would have amounted to just about around $520,000. So he got like a little more than an additional $300,000 for essentially repeating everything ad nauseum that the defense has already said. Huh. Yeah. So he's getting paid, and unsurprisingly, the person who paid them is getting exactly what he wanted out of him. Trump told reporters at a makeshift press conference, quote, "This is a highly respected man. I don't know him, but he's an expert witness, and he found no fraud whatsoever." All for the low price of $877,500, apparently. But he doesn't know. There's more. Bartov also claims the Trump Organization's books had complied with the generally accepted accounting principles known as GAAP. In fact, Bartov testified Thursday, "I couldn't find a single GAAP provision that was violated. I couldn't find one." So it should be noted that at the same time that he was testifying, that he had delivered that specific line, Trump attorney Alina Habba cracked a little smile at him. At the former president as well. It's like, oh yeah, it's exactly what we wanted. It's exactly what you paid him to say. Bartov then said of the allegations, quote, "Some of them really border on the absurd." Yes. Yeah, of course, yes. Let's look into one of those, right? So there was, for example, the triple space valuation of this apartment, right? The Fifth Avenue apartment, which in these filings was claimed to be 3 times bigger and therefore 3 times the value that it actually was. So this guy says, oh, you know what? That whole thing. I mean, yeah, sure, it was valued at 3 times the size. It's not actually 30,000 feet or square foot. It was an error. It was just an error. Errors like that, they're not unusual. Yes, of course, right? I mean, who hasn't accidentally tripled the size of one of their real estate holdings while attempting to borrow money? Look, I understand mistakes happen, but it seems a little convenient, doesn't it? But no, he describes this as just another whoopsie doodle. Well, there seems to be a lot of those when it comes to Trump's books. A lot of people making a lot of little errors that just happen to make Trump a lot of money or save him a lot of money on taxes. Weird. Funny coincidence, right? That every single mistake ends up making me money. Weird. Very strange. Not only that, but throughout his testimony, Bartov also argued that the financial statements are inherently subjective, which is the Trump line. That same word, subjective, actually appears 28 times in Bartov's affidavit and expert report submitted to the court in August before the trial began. So, subjective. They love that word, don't they? Look, here's the thing. Getting back to how much he was paid, I understand that it's common to compensate witnesses for their work. okay, for testimony. I also understand that it's very common to question their credibility based on how they got paid. And how much they got paid. And so this, look, it raises a lot of red flags, okay? The fact that he got paid over $300,000 more than he originally estimated, and then parroted the defense team's argument verbatim, should raise a lot of red flags. I'm just saying, he got paid to refute the fraud narrative that Trump, by the way, he got paid to refute fraud that Trump has already been found liable for. And so he's using the Trump narrative in order to do so. Look, apparently you can pay an expert to say anything you want, as long as you have the money. And that's one of the more disturbing aspects of our legal system. But on the other hand, at least now we know where the money that was supposed to go to Trump's lawyers actually went.